Hello, Capricorns. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Capricorns, let's jump right on in. This reading is for the 11th through the 18th of December. 11. All right. The number for enlightenment. Someone went through an initiation. That's the number 11. So you had to step through those two pillars to step into your own light. You had a decision to make, right? So somebody had to get off the fence and make a decision about something, right? Had to make a decision about something to step into your own light, to become enlightened about something. You went on a journey. You want to become enlightened about something. And so let's see what you became enlightened about. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Don't forget to put your gratitude list together, right? So what are you grateful for? Who are you grateful for? Like, you have big dreams, so put those dreams down. Who believes in your dreams, so you believe in your dreams, right? So put your name at the top of that list. You believe in your dreams. Source, your creator, is the one who downloaded those dreams into you. So that's what you want to focus on. And then all the ancestors that came before you, who you inherited those gifts and talents and those dreams from, right? So you want to focus on that as well. So keep your vibrations high. Talking to you wherever Capricorn is in your birth chart. Let's go. Let's see what's in your cards. All right, let's go. First card out the deck. See, somebody received some money for something. Yeah, I see you receive money for something. Talking to you wherever Capricorn is in your birth chart. Yeah, I see you receive money for something after money ended. So somebody was looking for some acceptance and approval into something, right? And so after money stopped, that's the number 7, from somebody who was at a high frequency, right? So somebody who was at a higher frequency, who may have been encouraging, excuse me, somebody who could have been encouraging you, to adjust your crown. Something after the money stopped, after the money stopped there, your money grew. So that means that somebody got money for something. That means that you received money for something, right? Yeah. So here's a rebirth. So Scorpio is ruled by the Judgment card and the Tower card, right? So something generational. Judgment card connects us with death, rebirth. It connects us with, so when something ended, something ended, right? So here's a bait and switch here. So here's a bait and switch here. And then also here we have the 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let's start with a 6 card spread, Capricorns. All right. So somebody may have received a charity for something after money from another resource ended. I'm talking about the Death card here, right? So somebody may have received money from something after money from another place ended. And somebody at a higher frequency, just kind of sort of like things coming through the air at a high. This is what I talk about, staying at a high frequency and helping people to adjust their crown, because a lot of information comes through the air at a higher frequency. You hear people say the air is thinner up there. It's not a lot of noise down on a lot of frequency. People are not gossiping. They're not this and that. They're talking about different things at a higher frequency. People kind of tend to, on your throne, you're sitting on your throne. You're sitting on a throne in your universe. So sometimes you're kind of in hermit mode. You're in for the most part, you could be kind of in hermit mode, at your higher frequency, just kind of sort of to yourself, and just getting a lot of downloads, getting a lot of messages about a lot of things, right? But also the somebody that once they realized they were being treated like they were a charity, possibly in a family, whoever this is, whether it was you or somebody else this Seven of Pentacles here started planting seeds somewhere else. That could have meant somebody relocated, somebody moved, whatever the case. But they just realized, you know what? After a death happened, and a death is not always in a physical sense, just where, I mean, it could have been in a physical sense, but it's not always in a physical sense. It could have been death of a job, like maybe their job said, okay, we're moving our base location to another city, state, whatever, right? So the job may have said, okay, we're going to sign off for you to go ahead and move to this office location or whatever. So that could have moved somebody away. That would be the Seven of Pentacles. And somebody could have just said, you know what, they're moving, right? Something ended, right? But a rebirth happened, right? A rebirth. So this is either you or somebody, right? But Source is saying to you, but when someone moved on and they realized they were being treated as a charity case, Source is saying, because this speaks to love language, really. When people realize they're being treated as a charity case, some people, when they say they know their worth and their value, they just move on. They just like, you know what? Number 7, the situation. My time here is complete. I need to move on. And the dark side of the number 7 is other people asking why. Why did somebody move on? What was the reason that somebody moved on? Right? So it looks like maybe you and I'm looking at the number 6 here. 6 looks like a rounded back and a bulging belly. So it could have been like you and a sibling. It could have been like, or siblings. You and somebody or somebodies. It could have been a group of you all. Maybe have, or baited into something, right? So maybe it's like a bait and switch, right? So baiting, people don't always fall for a bait and switch. Sometimes people do fall for a bait and switch. So let's see what else we got going on here. But I'm seeing a rebirth over here on the rebirth side. What does that look like? But in either case, your money grew and some other people's money grew. But eventually, and remember time is relative, but eventually you and somebody moved on from shady energies, and that would be like the 6 of Swords. So it's like you all both decided, hey, you're moving on from shady energies. You don't want to deal with certain people anymore. You're not falling for the bait and switch anymore. Here we have the Empress card here, right? Yeah. People who are just like vain, vengeful, green with envy. People who think that people have life too easy, so they're going to intentionally just make it hard, just like, make things hard for people. Here we have the Wheel of Fortune. So, so Source is saying you're very fortunate to have ended on the light. You're very fortunate to have said, you put together that list, like it's important. Words are very important when you say you're grateful for this and grateful for that. And that's why I talk about it so much. Put together the list. What are you grateful for? So whenever you're feeling low or depressed or sad, pull that list out. You wrote it, right? When you were there, your water was high, right? So that you don't have to fall for the bait and switch anymore. You know your worth and you know your value. So yeah, so I'm seeing some kind of the Chariot card. And so I definitely feel like somebody could, just be grateful for being able to tap into that gift of your emotions. That is very, very powerful. Very powerful to tap into. That's that High Priestess energy. You're able to tap into the gifts of emotions. And the fact that the Tower card is retrograde right now, you're having a total recall. So when you put together your list of what you're grateful for on your life journey, year 1, that's chapter 1 to whatever your age is right now, and you go through and you start saying, I'm grateful for this, and you start putting together the pros and cons of what you're grateful for and who's on that list, right? Who made the naughty and nice list? Who made the naughty and nice list? Then you won't fall for, the bait and switch when people are talking negatively about loved ones. Because your eyes physically saw something yourself, right? So no matter who is saying what about whom, you won't fall for it. Here we have the Page of Cups here, right? So I do see some good news coming across your path, a new creativity coming across your path here. Yeah, you have a guardian angel watching over you. You have a guardian angel watching over you. Yeah, so somebody should feel very, very lucky to have a guardian angel watching over you. Yep, it could be a mother figure or like a mother figure, right? So like a mother figure, somebody transitioned though, somebody who died, so we're crystal clear. Somebody who died, it could be like a mother figure. They don't have to be blood related, right? They could have been whomever, but it's somebody who really, really nurtured you, who could have come to you in a dream and downloaded some memories into your mind, total recall of some things that just made you go, what in the world am I doing? What in the world? Right? So yeah, so some kind of new creativity is happening here. Yeah, some kind of new creativity is happening here, where you're tapping into some strength, and somebody is definitely learning how to be more meek and come out of that survival mode mindset, right? So yeah, so this congratulations. So congratulations. Yeah. You have a lot of new ideas. Somebody's back in the saddle again. Your money is starting to grow. And then here we have, I see you being able to defend your decision to move on from something without coming across as defensive, at all. And the something is not carrying that spirit of being in survival mode. Like, y'all know what I'm saying? Survival mode is like kill or be killed. I'm gonna just be aggressive, and I'm just going, I'm gonna go out here and just get it. However, come out. Not when you can pray and ask source for help. No, not when you can ask source for help. Yeah. So the death. So that's over with. That's over with. That's completely over with. Yeah. You are not chained to the devil. Right? The devil is in the details. The devil is in the details. You don't have to have all of that, aggression. Something pushed you to the light side of Emperor energy to add structure and authority. In other words, something put some strength in your back to speak up. Something brought out the divine masculine in somebody, right? So you don't have to, no matter what your gender is, you don't have to be aggressive. You don't have to be a bully. You don't have to, it's your way or the highway towards anybody. You don't have to talk down to people. You don't have to belittle people. You don't have to look at everybody like you're better than, or anybody for that matter, or like they're a demon and you the angel. None of those. You don't have to do that. Matter of fact, that's the quickest way for people to cut you off. That's the quickest way for people to 8 of Wands you. Get as far away from you as fast as humanly possible. So Source saying stay focused. Stay focused. So somebody's definitely learned how to be assertive, be very positive. Here we have the Sun card. Yeah, so I do see you being successful, and I do see you, so light is definitely shining on, those temptations, the things that tempt you, the whatever demons that tempt you, right? Here we have the 8 of Swords here. So maybe somebody's saying something hurtful, towards energies that you love, may, drive you crazy sometimes. But Source is saying that is your cue to say, you know what? Let me 7 of Wands the situation. Let's take action. I need to put one foot in front of the other. I don't need to stand here and justify why I'm leaving you behind. I don't even need to be at a crossroad. I may take one last look at you, because that's going to be the last time I'm going to look at you. That's it. I don't need to cuss you out. I don't need to go off on you. I don't need to be aggressive, but I'm done. Right? Here we have the 2 of Cups here. Yeah. So somebody is recognizing soulmate energy, because people pick up on your energy. They pick up on your soul, like what you've gone through. What you've gone through. Here we have the Queen of Swords here. Yeah, people pick up on what you've gone through. Exactly what you've gone through. Here we have the Queen of Wands. So this lets me know, like I said before, somebody was definitely determined to kind of sort of get you like on the dark side of fire, like get you enraged, like get you in just blowtorch mode, and that is very unhealthy when somebody's trying to process their emotions. I'm talking to you all, Capricorn. It's just unhealthy because you all need time to process your water in your soil. You're an earth sign, right? So you need time to process, especially when you're trying to grow, and you're trying to grow your money, you're trying to grow your education, you're trying to grow your spirit, you're trying to grow your creativity, and you got people constantly trying to bring out the worst in you. They need to go. I can't say it any clearer than that. They need to go with the quickness. They need to go. So you have some new ideas. Anybody that's rushing you to even think, goodbye. Good and bye. Because they will leave you feeling like you by yourself. Every single time. You can't make money fast enough. You can't think fast enough. You can't create fast enough. You can't do anything enough for them fast enough because they saw you as opposition, and everybody that helps you to grow as opposition from the very beginning because they haven't dealt with their own shadow self. Somebody's going through all these major arcana here. These are your major secrets being exposed, like your major secrets being exposed. That's what Source is saying. The sun is shining on like what your temptations were. You know, your sun was shining on what your temptations were, like what really tempted to bring out the worst in you. But somebody just kept digging, poking until they found something that just set somebody off. Right? Here we have the Strength card. And they went right into making up this big elaborate lie about something. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. They went bingo. So Source is saying from now on, when people go into that, when they're working overtime, and I'm talking about determined to make you that angry and making you that mad, you're going to Nine of Pentacles then. Pentacles, time is money. So time, right? Number 9 is death, rebirth. You're going to end your time with them. End, death of time. No more time with you, period. This is the Fool card. I'm leaving the circus behind. I don't care how much time I've invested with you. You are just, you're motivated by the wrong things. Whoever it is, I don't know who this energy is, but somebody you were connected, could be a group of people, who knows? Whoever these energies are motivated by the wrong things. They motivated by making people so angry that they just like trying to bring out the worst in people. You're not motivated about being around those energies. Best you can do and then turn around calling people crazy. Everybody crazy. They got anger problems. They need to manage their anger, and they're the ones that poking just. They like to create issues and then stand back and think stuff like that is funny. They're motivated by this kind of stuff. So it's just saying, you, yeah. Yep, so. Yeah, you and like I said, you and somebody have, like I said, guardian angels. Somebody, like I said, it's somebody who transitioned, especially if somebody, well, you have a lot of ancestors around you, but it's somebody who transitioned in particular. I don't think that this one person is not even blood related to you. This is somebody who, because I'm seeing a lot of fire in the cards, someone that maybe you and a loved one may felt like lucky to have, like really just felt like, like if you had to count your blessings, like, okay, this, you just felt lucky to have that, but just very fortunate. And I'm looking at this right here, the Temperance card, this in the Wheel of Fortune, like somebody felt very fortunate to have that type of a spirit in their life. So, I'm sure you can name a whole lot of people, but I feel like, sometimes you got to go outside of the blood relative and go, okay, you're fortunate to have this teacher, well, educator, we'll just say an educator, this, whoever this energy was, cafeteria worker, whoever, somebody. But here we have, so keep moving forward, move in silence and move in peace, but it's time to release the burden, get focused. Always bet on you. The new one is extra special. Do the mirror work. You have the gift of clairaudience. Step through the portal. That's clear listening. Somebody's ex wants to return. He apologizes for betraying you. Root chakra cleanse. And he could be somebody who is in toxic masculine energy, which could be, it could be, like I said, it's just like I said, he, whoever it is. You made a positive impact on them, right? The best is yet to come. You're healing from the pain they cause. Open your vault door, journal your journey. Somebody hasn't been completely honest. Create the change that you want. You are an answered prayer. Your gifts have increased. In other words, what you didn't know, you now know. When you are in danger and you feel like, okay, I'm in survival mode, I'm not going to just sit there. I'm going to get up and walk out. If I can and there's an exit, I'm going to get up and walk out. I'm going to close my mouth. I'm going to get up and walk out. I'm getting away from these people, whoever they are. Getting up and walk, getting as far away from them as possible. This right here is you're not used to being in, just kind of like I said, but so anyway, first question for this moon that we're in the waxing gibbous moon, I believe, first question is, how often do you feel true pleasure? Second question is, do you feel guilty about pursuing pleasure? Third question is, where are the energy blockages and places of tension located in your body? The fourth question is, can you discern how your body says yes to some things and no to others? And then last but not least is, what does your body need? What does your body need, right? What does your body need? Look at the bigger picture. And that's what I was thinking about. There's a Sagittarius. That's what I was saying. That's right here. So Sagittarius plays a role in someone's, somebody may be feeling lucky or feeling very fortunate, in your life. Somebody who is high vibrational Sagittarius. So if they've transitioned, obviously they are at a higher frequency. Their spirit is at a higher frequency. They've graduated from their body here, right? So that would make it high frequency. So they really see things from another realm. So here we have work, affirmations for work. I am aligned with those who are connected to my passion and my purpose. I invest my time wisely and I reap the abundant benefits from the services I deliver. I am centered and focused. Yeah, I'm centered and focused. Centered and focused. Yeah. Yeah, but somebody, while you were going through something, Capricorn, somebody was lamenting over what you were going through. Somebody who have told you, I don't know what somebody's moon sign is, because your moon sign is just like what nurtures your spirit. That would have helped break up some of that build up for somebody, like that build up where people just, their dreams don't flow, their messages aren't coming through, your money is blocked. Knowing what your moon sign is really helps to clear those blockages, like really starting to listen to water sounds, drink more water, eating food with high water content. All that stuff breaks up all of that, so you can start paying, like even if you feel like, okay, you fell for the bait and switch, something in your spirit, because you're doing it on a regular basis and you just like, oh my God, I can't believe I fell for such and such. Because we're in human form, nobody is perfect. Even if you fell for a bait and switch situation and people feel like, yes, they're not as smart as they thought, they thought they were. Okay. You're in human form just like they are. That's what the source says. But when you're doing it on a consistent basis, your water, right? Your water, the moon has an affinity with water. Then you'll go back and go, oh, okay. Thank you, Source, for, that's when you go into gratitude. Thank you, Source, for, enlighten me on something. So remember, money is a form of energy. So if you're at a place where you feel like, okay, my money is really low, I really feel like I need some, go to, you feel like people are not going to throw it back in your face, where there's no confusion whatsoever, none whatsoever. Or at least speak up, say something, right? Here's the Dame of Pentacles. So that's what Source is trying to get somebody to learn how to do, is like add some structure and authority to it. Like you don't have to be aggressive with people. That's a major turn on. People are this. I'm telling y'all, you're seeing it. You're gonna start seeing it. It's really a serious call to operate in agape love. People are just getting tired of people just being aggressive and just being mean spirited. So it's time to clean your energy field. Time to clean your energy field. All right. Right? Meditate and contemplate. Time for you to believe in your dreams again, because somebody has still been confused. You have big dreams, and so you having big dreams. Let's say, for instance, somebody says, your dream was always to, let's say, what is something that society may put an age limit on? Let's say you always wanted to be a pop star, right? I don't know. That's an age limit of what, 20s? I don't know, right? Let's say you're well over 20 years old. But maybe you, like I said, like to write music. Maybe you start to, branch out, broaden your horizon, start to do more research around that. You're not trying to be a pop star, but you may just kind of start doing some research. Can you write for somebody? Can you, in your spare time, when you, 9 to 5 job, can you volunteer somewhere? Can you, is there a program that you can start? Those kind of things, because again, it's speaking to what you're passionate about. What gift can you give to the world? Like, what gifts can you give to the world? So yeah, you're not gonna get on stage with a crop top on, right? But at the same time, Source is saying to you, but if there's something you can share with the world, right? If there's something that you can share with, don't give up on your dreams, whatever they are. Don't give up on your dreams, and that's what that card is for. So here we have the 5 of Cups here. Yeah, so you and somebody could have been lamenting, going through just lamenting at the same time, just like, what in the world, right? Because of all of the confusion that was started. All of the confusion that was started by energies who jumped to conclusions about things, didn't have a full picture. You're talking about familiar spirits who are part of a family, and we're not just talking about blood relative family. It could have been a part of an organization, whatever the organization is, church, family, mosque, temple. Okay, so yeah, so whatever family means to you, it's not always blood relative family. It could have been your job family, right? Like, be creative. When I say family, please don't just think your immediate family. It could be your extended family, your friendship family, whoever, old friends. But people were jumping to conclusions about all kinds of stuff, just didn't have a full picture or story, and just went straight. It's like it struck a match and it just took off like wildfire and left somebody feeling like they were very much by themselves, alone, separated by emotions, and just could not put it together, couldn't add you didn't even have time to even. And this is the danger about being around familiar spirits, because they're coming at you with like fiery darts left and right. You can't even process your thoughts. And so Source is saying, you are feeling very much by yourself. Somebody, I don't know who this is, was feeling very much by themselves, separated by water, emotions, right? Separated by emotions, feelings, and all that. Couldn't even process those emotions. And Source is saying, from now on, at that very moment when you're in those spaces, Source, thank you for an exodus strategy. Just thank you for an exodus strategy. I don't know how it's going to come, but just thank you. Right? But something was causing somebody to be depressed. Something was causing somebody to just be flat out, feel like their back is against the wall and just depressed. I don't know if it was you or somebody, but something was causing somebody to be depressed. And so I do see your wishes being fulfilled, whatever. You have 9 wishes being fulfilled, on the other side. But yeah, you do have, you have a lot of ancestors around you. A lot of people are praying for you. So don't worry about the people who are trying to pray on you. Focus on the ones who are praying for you, right? So sync with the moon from now on. Sync with the moon. Sync with the moon. So we're getting closer and closer. I think we're, getting close to 80% illuminated. So tap in. Tap in with your emotions. Drink your water. The water has an affinity with the moon. So if you feel like your emotions are running low and you're feeling dehydrated, like you need to drink some more water, like don't make this rocket science. For real. Like, drink more water. You thirsty? You don't need to check in to see what phase the moon is in. Drink water. If you feel like, okay, you want to listen to water sounds at night, discipline yourself. Just listen to it. Listen to it at night. But it doesn't have to be just at night. Listen to it during the day while you're at work. Let it play in the background while you're working at work. Instead of listening to people argue on a call, on a conference call at work. They're just sitting there arguing about the same meeting that they had last week, about another meeting. You can have water sounds in the background real low. Just, kind of sort of tuned in and out. Like, you know what? I'm in such a calm, serene place. They over there arguing about some stuff they was talking about last week and they still don't have a solution. So here we have, I am creative, 111. So angels are ready to fully support you in this endeavor so that you can co-create with the universe a life you love. A life you love. Well, somebody is very sensitive, right now, and because you're going through a rebirth. You're going through a rebirth, and so we get closer and closer to that full moon. It's going to feel like a total recall of just like everything, not a partial recall. I'm talking about as far back as you can remember childhood. You're going to start remembering your dreams again. If it is negative, write it down, connect it to whatever connects you to that negative thought. Toss it into a burning bowl and only make room for the positive. You can't stop the negative because it's a total recall. You can't stop the negative thoughts from coming in. But if you let them sit there, they're going to grow. So if you said, when I grow up, I want to be a pop star, we're just using that as an example, right? So I want to be a pop star and you're now 40. And you didn't, that time has passed and that thought comes across your mind and somebody said, oh, you don't have the look, you don't have the sound, you don't have the this and that. And that just stuck in your mind. So it's just like toss their name along with that negative comment into a burning bowl and say, okay, you know what? That dream has never left. Okay, so no, you're not, you may not be one, but you never lost your love for maybe music, right? So whatever it is. But that is what I have for you all. I will see you all in the next video. Hopefully those questions have helped. All right. Bye.